not a game, it's a rich thing.
Right, so what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video on the channel. Welcome back to the 636 build. It's been a little bit of time since the previous video, and as you can probably tell from that little snippet, I actually do have quite a bit of motion back in my shoulder, which is very nice. It's kind of when raising and putting pressure on it when it's in more of a raised position, that's still very difficult. So yeah, still quite a bit of a way to go with the healing before I can get back on a bike, but it has meant that I've had a bit more freedom with my arm, so I've managed to sort out the crash bobbins, as you would have seen. So it's just a bit, you had these lock-in nuts basically. You won't really be able to see, but at the back there is this kind of lock-in nut, and it was just a bit awkward to hold that in place whilst putting it in with only one hand. So finally managed to get that done. I've torn off the front, got off the ram air system, got off the snapped kind of support system that it's just kind of a bracket basically that holds the instrument cluster in place, as well as the screen and the fairing and all that. So we've got that off, so yeah, it's looking very bare at the front. And I've got my bike out as well, the Z900 RS. Miss riding this bike, well, I miss riding both of them obviously. But yeah, today we are back for the rebuild series. As the time I'm filming this intro, as a sausage dog barks, as the time I'm filming this intro, in fact, here is a sausage dog. God, you're interrupting me, what are you doing? Do you want to say hello to the camera? This is my dog Daisy. She's very cute, but very loud and annoying as well. She loves attention. But yes, as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, as the time I film this intro, I don't know what's happening next. I'm just kind of starting off the video in that little cinematic you would have seen of what I've got today. Today we have a revolution with the bike, which it didn't have the last time I got it out of the garage, but putting it out of the garage today, it's got kind of like, the brakes are locked on a bit on the front. Not fully, but when pushing it, it's very difficult at the minute because you notice that there is some pressure there. So that is probably something above my knowledge level and skill level, but we will try and get that figured out at some point in this video. I do have these green hell braided brake lines as well, that I did have before the crash to put on. So yeah, I'm doing all these little bits and bobs that weren't really needed, but I want to make the bike nicer than it was before. I may as well whilst I'm building it. And the main thing I think today we will achieve, I don't know when that's going to happen yet, but you will find out in the clips after this, is painting is the first priority with this bike, as that is kind of the base level of the build involves painting. So you can see we've got this engine cover there that will need painting. Same again with this side. The frame needs doing because I want that to be perfect. Whether I'll maybe get little bits and bobs like these little stone chips done potentially. Of course, if we come on into here, I've got to get this front cowling painted. And if I come again out to here, sorry, did I wake you? Got this to be kind of repainted as well. So yeah, they're the bits that we need to get painted first. That'll be the first priority, and then we can start to look at buying the bits to get the rest of it fully done. So yeah, update you in the next clip. And also, I want to just say quickly before we get into the main bit of this video, thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to give a massive thank you for all the support. Honestly, it means so much, and I'm proper grateful for it all. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoy this video. Now, in the rare opportunity that it's been a while since I've looked at the Z900, but we'd be rude not to show it some love, as I haven't actually done too many videos on this bike. I think I've only done 3 on it, but I have had it a good couple of months now. Still absolutely loving it, and God, does it just look so nice in the garage, nice and clean. Just the shapes, everything about this bike looked awesome. Super excited to when I can actually ride again, to do some more videos on this bike, because 1, for my own enjoyment, but 2, you guys seem to really love this bike on the channel. So yeah, stay tuned. Once I'm back up and running, we will get plenty of videos extra coming your guys' way on this bike. Right, so fast forward a few days from the intro. Today is a new day. What we've done so far today is I have removed the headlights out of the very broken front fairing. As you can see here, put these off. You can see most of the damage is on the housing on the back here, so we've got a huge crack there. There was a bit of a crack before the crash anyway, so I was getting condensation in the headlights. So I'm going to be taking this to Kawasaki today, just to kind of be advised on whether I can replace the housing on the back or whether I do need a whole new unit. Figure out how much new headlights are, if that's what I need, or figure out if I can just restore these, replace the bracket around the back. So we're going to get that done today, see what they say. I'm also going to try and get some new little tools and bits and bobs, as today I want to figure some things out. I've got some new pegs that I'm going to install today, so we'll get them replaced. I want to give a go at doing the braided brake lines. Obviously I'm going to have to learn to do them myself, so that's the goal for today. And also from that, I'm hoping that through that I can bleed the brakes, figure out how to do that. So it's all going to be a bit learning curve in this kind of segment of this video. As I might have mentioned, the front brakes will start to seize on a little bit. So yeah, I'm hoping by doing all that, I can figure out the problem with that and get that all sorted. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Right, we have returned from Kawasaki. Very bad news is Kawasaki headlights are sold as a full unit like this. You can't really buy like the housing at the back to repair that, so they're done for. The hard part of it is OEM Kawasaki headlights are kind of discontinued, and even when you can find some still left, they are approximately £800, which is ridiculous. As much as I want to go fully OEM, I'm not paying that much money. That is, you know, just ridiculous. So I'm going to order some Chinese ones tonight from eBay. Fraction of the price. In pictures they look about the same, so yeah, we'll report on the quality of them when they come. Hopefully they're not too bad. I have also ordered a couple OEM bits. I've ordered the OEM bracket for this, which is obviously very snapped. I've also ordered OEM new ram air system. So yeah, they'll be coming from Japan, so they might be a bit of time, but slowly getting some bits and bobs together for the bike. You see, we bought a few little bits and bobs from Kawasaki, nothing too exciting, but I've got some more rags, microfiber rags. We got some wire brush set, some disc brake cleaner, Muck Off, best brand, some brake fluid, and finally we have a brake bleeding kit from Oxford. So I'm not too sure how that works, but yeah, we'll give it a go. I've never bled brakes before, never really done any brake maintenance, to be honest. So we will see how it goes. We'll try and learn it, see if we can figure out why my brakes are seizing. So yeah, let's get the bike off the cover, get the battery charger off and begin. Right, so it's probably about 2 hours later. A lot of Googling, a lot of reading of the Haynes manual to figure everything out. We got the pegs on in the end. The spring was a little awkward as the springs that the new one came with just didn't really work properly. So I cleaned up the standard ones, standard springs that's that part there, and they're on fine. As you can see, the little kind of pin bit that goes through the middle of it, it's slightly too long, but it's clipped into place fine. So they are all good, so they're all sorted. We have the rear braided lines on. The thing I'm noticing, whilst the braided lines are specifically for this bike, they just seem slightly too long. And as you could see, it was quite a challenge to line it all up. I did it wrong a few times, had to undo it, redo them up. But as you can see, they're just, yeah, they are a bit long really, and it looks a bit tacky. So I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. Yeah, my shoulder is really starting to hurt now. Obviously things, when you're trying to learn things, it takes a lot longer. And whilst it may have been done in about 3 minutes in this video, I can assure you I've been out here hours just doing these little bits. Sometimes the small bits are the most complicated, and obviously when I'm learning, things just take a bit long. Right, so just a bit of an update. I had some help. FaceTimed a mate who is very good at mechanics. He's given me a help with the starting process of bleeding the brakes. What I've done is I've emptied both the front reservoir, cleaned that all out, and I've got that in there just to soak up if any extras coming out. I've done the same with the rear reservoir there, and as you can see, we are kind of in position now, ready to start bleeding them. Trying to figure out this Oxford system, as it's a bit confusing in their instructions, so I'll try and figure that out. But yeah, that's what we've done. We've emptied all the old disgusting brake fluid, put the tissue in there to soak up any that comes out. Right, so welcome to the next day. As you would have seen yesterday, I installed the braided lines. However, I was a bit concerned that they're a bit too long. Now, I thought I was going to have to return them. Spoke to the seller, and it turned out, because I ordered race brake lines, they aren't the same fitting as standard. So whereas with the standard you had one hose going from the master cylinder to the caliper on that side, and then one line from that caliper to the other caliper, these are race ones, so you have a line directly going to that side of the caliper, and this other one here goes directly from that caliper up to the master cylinder. So that makes sense why they're so too long. So today I'm not going to bore you with showing you me doing it, because this video is going to be way too long, and I already did kind of show you yesterday how to install brake hoses. Everything I did was correct, obviously just the lines and the confusion of the way they were set up was wrong. So yeah, I will catch up with you when they are all sorted. We will reroute them, and then I will catch you in a couple of days where I will get a little help from a friend, and we will bleed the whole system and get these brakes back up and working, as obviously currently we have no fluid in the system, so we have no brakes. So yeah, catch up with you guys when that is all sorted. Right, so there we go. That was a lot easier than yesterday. I always find once you've done something once and kind of get a general idea of how to do it, the second time doing it is normally a lot easier. And that went very smoothly. And as you can see, that looks much more like how it should be. So it makes complete sense now why it was so awful looking yesterday and how long they were. Makes complete sense now. Looks perfect. Obviously, we've got both going to the master cylinder top there. One round to that side and one round to that side. Now little mistakes like these, I don't want to cut them out of the video, as like I said, I want these videos to be genuine. It's all part of learning, and it's all part of figuring out the build. There's going to be mistakes along the way, there's going to be things I do wrong, so I thought it's only right that I include that kind of thing in the video. But yeah, now that's all sorted, in a couple of days time we will get them all bled. In the meantime, I'm kind of going through now, trying to clear the garage a bit, and yeah, this is the collection of all the broken parts that are going to be binned. So yeah, as you can see, it's a bit of a graveyard really, quite a lot of stuff going. Yeah, funny to see, there is the damage that it did. And going on from that though, there's a few bits that are kind of saved. Obviously the pillion pegs over there, this little middle bit of the fairing, I can get that cleaned up, and that's for the most part I think looks all perfect, so I can reuse that. And these maybe, I mean that sticky looking thing there has been on the bike since I got it, and to be fair, these are probably not too expensive, so I might just end up getting new ones of these. And as you see on the side, one of the popping pin things have come off, so maybe I could save them, but they might be so cheap that I'll just end up replacing them anyway. And this was something I bought off eBay, really cheap recently. It's very dirty at the minute, so I'm going to give it a clean up. It is very scratched, but I'm led to believe that I might be able to even repair that. And that would be really nice, because that is the OEM screen, and that's what I want for it anyway, and it's a couple £100, so if I could save that, that'd be nice. And then we've also got the old braided brake lines there. So yeah, there is the graveyard of parts that have now be going in the bin, so now we have a bit more room to manoeuvre and work on the bike. But yeah, there we are, the brake lines are finally on. They look super cool. The green matches really nice, which looks really cool. Again, same on the rear there, in green looks awesome. They just look much cleaner than the old rubber ones. The old rubber ones looked awful. They're a bit corroded as well, so it freshens up the bike nicely. So yeah, catch up with you guys in a couple days time. Whilst I'm working on the bike, you've probably noticed in the background of my videos how messy the garage is. Using today as a bit of an opportunity to clean it up. Little things like that, nice and satisfying. There's quite a pile of microfiber cloths I've got now, but yeah. Look at that. satisfaction level to the max at the minute. Call me OCD, but so earlier on in the video, I would have shown you that I bought this Oxford Solo brake bleeding kit, just to make my life a little easier for it being my first time using it. I'm going to give a little review of it here. So this is basically a setup. Obviously you have the arrow, which I will spin it and show you, which is the direction that the brake fluid can travel. So it'll obviously come around here, and you'll have bubbles coming through here, and once it's going through to this side, it will allow the brake fluid to go through to that side, and once it's clear of bubbles here is when you know it's done. Now this is the setup it has to be done in with the direction of travel, which means you have a thicker pipe on this side, and on this side you have this smaller thin pipe, and this smaller pipe will only fit on small bleed nipples. Stuff like Brembos and the brakes I have on my bike are just a bit too big, so if I swing this round, I've just about managed to get it on with a lot of force and persuasion, but it doesn't really fit as intended. This big side would fit nicely, but obviously that doesn't work with the direction of travel of this system. So yeah, little note, if you are looking at buying the Oxford bleed nipple valve, only do it if you've got small bleed nipples. It won't work very well with this. The likelihood is once I start bleeding, this will probably fall off, but we'll see what happens. Now this is the point where brake fluid should be coming through, however it isn't, so yeah, something here isn't working as intended. Yeah, something's not quite working out as intended, so this is the first problem to figure out. So what's likely to have happened here is somewhere we have a blockage. Now I've checked for leaks. There's no obvious leaks in the whole system. I've checked the master cylinder, checked the lines, checked the caliper. There is no sign of a leak, so it must be a blockage. So I think the steps I would assume to take here would be to undo the line from here, take that out, and then pump the brake pedal a bit and see if that helps at all. Maybe just getting some trapped air or anything that might be in the system, and hopefully that is the problem. So I will give that a try. And there we go, so it looks like we've got some fluid coming through now, which is a good sign. So hopefully we'll put that back on now, torque it up and try again, and hopefully, as simple as that, that's hopefully sorted the problem. Right, so where are we at? I am going to have to leave this caliper now and wait for help. I thought I would try and do it myself, but quite worrying sign of, obviously you saw fluid would come out of the hose there, but I've been doing some testing, even with the bleed nipple loosened, just there's no fluid coming out of it at all. So yeah, slightly worrying, so I'm going to have to get some assistance to look into that, as that may be a big problem. Hopefully not, but I'm going to try and not let that deter me with trying. I'm going to give the front a go now. It's always recommended that you start with the one furthest away from the master cylinder, so yeah, I'll top it up with some new fluid and see if I can manage to do the front without something being very wrong. Knowing my luck, probably not. Right, so what I'm going to try now is the old-fashioned method. Now, whether I'm going to be able to do this on my own, I don't know, because obviously we've got just now a single tube going to a bottle. What I have to do is pump the front brake a bit, build some pressure up, and then once the brake pedal, or brake lever I should say, is pulled in, loosen off the bleeder nipple, let the air come out, and then I have to retighten the bleed nipple by the time I've re-released the front brake. So let's see, how is this going to go? I'll get that on. Pump the pedal or the lever a bit, build up some pressure. Then I have to loosen that off, like so. The bottle's going to fall. And then tighten that off before I release. Same again. So I believe this side is now done. I'll give you a demonstration now. Pull the brake lever in, and now when I undo it, you can see there's no bubbles now going through, it's just liquid. So if I'm correct in believing that side's done, and I can now swap over to the other side.
Okay, well that's not normal.
No. I have movement there on the pedal, that's all.
Oh, look at all that, it's crap. Leg day for Tom. Stop. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Loads of movement there.
Yes, absolute loads in there. Keep going. Is it stiff?
Stiffer now, yeah.
Stop. Oh man,
It's actually releasing properly.
yeah. There, that looks bad already, like. Should we fill it up?
Smelled low, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so there we go. We finally have working brakes. The problems I made, or where I went wrong, I didn't particularly do anything wrong with the front. I just didn't do it for long enough, so where I thought that there wasn't any bubbles, and where I thought I'd finish that side, I just hadn't, basically. And there's all different techniques to it of how you kind of modulate the lever when doing it, how you take off the bleeding nipple. So yeah, slight little errors I did there, but like I said, I've seen how it's done now, so I've learned from it, and now I know how to do it, which is good. And with the back, you would have seen, you know, that is supposed to be the colour of brake fluid, and this is what came out. That is absolutely disgusting. So there was basically just loads of rubbish built up in the lines, and that's why absolutely nothing was coming out. But after some long amount of time pumping this, eventually we managed to start getting some fluid through, and that's when we started to see this awful stuff coming out. So yeah, that is somewhat sorted. The colour's not 100% on the rear, so in the next video I might have to take out the front master cylinder and give that a little clean up, and I might just generally, whilst I'm building the bike, do a whole kind of overhaul, take off the rear calipers, give the pads a clean. I know I probably did say I was actually supposed to do that in this video, but we're running out of time and I don't want these videos to be crazily long as Daisy walks past, so I will save that for the next video. But there you go, good amount of progress in this video. Like I said, the progress is not going to be massively fast, but yeah, that is that. In the next video we should see quite a lot of parts starting to arrive, as I have ordered quite a lot for the bike. So in the next video we should hopefully see quite a lot of good progress, and we will try and maybe clean up the brakes and yeah, see what we can do, maybe get the painting organised. I keep kind of leaving the video in a limbo on the painting, but work in progress. I'm trying to get something organised. I was going to go for a professional company, then I forgot a friend actually used to do professional spraying, so he's hopefully going to be helping me out with that, so we should be able to get some good footage of that at some point as well. So yeah, thank you very much for all the support, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the rebuild series on this bike. Hopefully give it a few more videos and this bike will be back, and hopefully soon I'll be able to ride, as I'm slowly starting to feel like I might be able to soon, so that is very nice. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave me a comment if you are enjoying the series. Sorry if they are a bit long-winded and boring, but I want to be as raw and show as much of the journey of rebuilding this bike as possible, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.